Don't sit here and do what all of you do, which is put your head in the sand when a wave comes. Go find your surfboard and ride that wave. This whole room just stood up that Google search is a dominant force in their business, and in 48, 50, 66 months, that behavior will be gone. Very hard to click a fucking Google ad when you don't even go to Google in the first place. Wake up. There is not even a close second in activity that can grow your business to a proper organic social media execution. That means for this room, taking a step back and understanding how do I post a video and picture every single day on social media on all 5 to 7 major platforms to grow my business. And let me explain it in detail. How many people here do social media for their business? Raise your hand. How many people feel like it's the disproportionate reason your business is growing? Raise your hand. Great. So 80 to 90% of this room raised their hand when I said do it. 3 humans raised their hand when they said it was the driver. The opportunity is undeniable. The math supports it dramatically. The reason 3 humans raised their hand at it is they are good at it. That is a very small percentage. That is the punchline of why I came here today. What has happened in social over the last couple of years, 2 of the 15-year journey of social, is profoundly important to everyone here. I have been giving this talk in a variation because I so believed in this movement basically since 2007. That is 17 years of this. In the first 15 years of me giving this talk to these kind of events, it was more like email marketing. You had to amass as many followers as possible with your content, and then when you would post, a percentage of them would see it. I think that's gonna make sense to everybody. I think everybody can agree that even if you're a very basic understanding of social marketing, the understanding of get followers, and those people would see it, a percentage of them, was the model. That is why, as time went on, and people in this room that are very behind on it, it would become daunting. If I sat here today and said, okay, get 1 million followers and then post, and that might be good. And don't forget, a lot of you, like most businesses on earth, are doing business within a regional area. So getting 100,000 followers and you're in Dayton, Ohio, and only 17 are in Dayton, Ohio, you're like, Gary, get off the stage, I don't give a shit. Here's what's happened in the last 2 years. 5 years ago, you can find videos of me online where I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, asking, begging people to get on TikTok. At the time, there was none of this China talk and all the other stuff that's in your head. It was, people didn't want to get on it because they just thought it was for 14-year-old girls dancing. What I knew is they were just saying the same shit they told me about Facebook. I know a lot of you, when you first heard about Facebook 15 years ago, didn't think it was gonna mean anything for your business because it was just college kids. These platforms all tend to do the same thing. They tend to age up. The reason I was yelling about TikTok is in that story I told you earlier, obvious to all of you was that Facebook and Twitter were huge home run investments. What is less obvious to all of you was that Tumblr should have been the biggest company of them all. Tumblr of the 3 companies, and by the way, I did great on Tumblr. I invested at $4 million, they sold it for $1 billion to Yahoo. But it still should have been bigger because what Tumblr understood in 2008 was what Facebook and Twitter did was they built social media, the social graph, who you were friends with. And that's what you would see. But I think all of you know, especially for how it happened and it started with college kids, as you get older, as you live your life, your friends change, their interest and your interest can possibly change, and your aunt posting about her pet pig was not necessarily the coolest thing that you could see in your feed. What Tumblr understood was what you're interested in tends to be stickier and could follow you. I've loved the New York Jets since 1982. That is a much deeper, longer relationship for me than most of the friends, acquaintances, and things that have funneled through. That is what social media, on the back of what TikTok did 3 years ago, 4 years ago, has evolved into.